Wesley Vissers will move to the Open, he will leave Classic. Jay Cutler told him he's disappointed that he should have competed in Open. And Wesley said he will do it and that it will be soon. In today's video, we're going to see it, I'm going to analyze it, and I'll give my opinion. We'll also see his training, Wesley's transformation, and I'll Photoshop him as an Open competitor. For those who don't know, Jay Cutler is a 4-time Mr. Olympia, and this Sunday when I upload a very special video, you'll find out that he was almost a 5-time Mr. Olympia. But someone stopped him, you'll see. And Wesley Vissers is already a multiple-time Arnold Classic champion. One of the tallest and heaviest classic physique competitors we have today. They've been doing this push workout where both Wesley and Jay have trained together. They've been talking about bodybuilding, about training, and Jay Cutler was amazed throughout the whole workout at the condition Wesley is in. He's huge, dense, and hard. He has very high quality, well-defined muscle. Honestly, Wesley's physique is impressive. What incredible muscle quality. And it's totally normal that Jay wants to get him into Open, because after all he was an Open bodybuilder and that's what he likes, and he thinks Wesley could have potential. He told him kind of jokingly that he was disappointed. He said, "Man, you disappointed me. You should have competed in Open and not in Classic, right? Because Wesley had just competed recently."
I'm disappointed, man. You should have competed here.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting.
Yeah. Open.
You promised me one day.
Of course it's going to happen. Maybe sooner or later, who knows? Let's see how Olympia goes, and then...
And then Jay Cutler says that Wesley has promised him that he'll do it someday. And Wesley goes on to say that he's excited to do it and that first he's going to do the Olympia and we'll see.
Well, I'm really excited about that for sure.
So, hey, maybe after this 2026 Olympia, depending on how he places, depending on how he looks, he might make the jump for 2027 or maybe at the latest 2028, but he already said that one way or another, he's definitely going to do it at some point. This isn't the first time Wesley has mentioned this. Wesley is one of the top bodybuilders right now. He's won several competitions, he's at a very high level, but he is really humble toward Jay Cutler, even though Jay is already older. Wesley is open to learning and being taught. He treats him like a father, which is really nice. By the way, Jay Cutler at 52 years old honestly looks really good. He looks pretty young, you know, considering how much bodybuilders wear themselves out. Honestly, he's managed it very smartly. Physically, he looks great. Even his face, his appearance, he's even kept his hair and his iconic mohawk. I also have to say that Wesley comes across as very humble from the way he speaks. I've been following him for years, even at this last Arnold, where Mike beat him. Wesley. He congratulated Mike, said he deserved to win, was better than him, and that he'll learn from his mistakes and improve. Imagine how inflated some bodybuilders' egos can be, right? Few are capable of showing that kind of humility. Let's move to the interesting part. If he switches, it'll be to Open. And now let's look at this posing from the Detroit Pro, which is quite recent, where Wesley Vissers poses against an Open competitor, against Mohamed Foda. Each of them won their category in Detroit. And then, just for the show, they pose together, then the fans vote for who wins. And of course, they voted for Wesley because he has more fans. Obviously, Wesley didn't win. Anyone who understands bodybuilding knows he can't beat Mohamed Foda. But I have to say, he looks impressive in some poses, so hey, he can compete with him. This is how Wesley would currently look next to an Open competitor. Obviously, he's still lacking quite a bit of size to be competitive, but hey, it's not bad at all, because now I'm going to show you something pretty encouraging in that regard. This is his posing routine, which he did at the Pittsburgh Pro last year, and he'll probably do it again this year. But anyway, this was from a year ago, May 2025, and that's how Wesley looked. And damn, even in the off-season he looks huge. I don't know if it's enough to compete with the Open guys, but what a difference, huh? It's crazy how much the Classic guys change from when they're on stage to when they're in the off-season with a few extra pounds. Even like that, he looks more defined than some Open competitors on stage. Anyway. He started posing with Dino, with other Classic guys, and here we could see an important difference, right? I think that if Dino switched to Open right now in a few months, he'd be ready to win a pro show. But it's true that here, in my opinion, Wesley comes out losing in these comparisons against Mr. Olympia. But of course, let's keep in mind that this was a year ago. He also posed with Samson Dauda. While Samson is much bigger in the side chest, Wesley still holds his own. Even in the rear double biceps, Wesley looks good next to him. He was also posing with Keon Pearson. Anyway, for me, Pittsburgh is better because of the exhibition they put on. Very soon, we'll have this year's Pittsburgh and compare them again. As I said, this was a year ago. Now Wesley would look even better on stage. because this has been his transformation from the 2024 Arnold to the 2026 Arnold. Thank you, Super Setaman, for making this comparison. Wesley's legs have practically doubled. I don't know how he managed to improve them so much in just a couple of years. Taking some time off from competing was such a good decision. Even his back is now bigger, wider, and denser. His legs from the back have improved slightly, but there's still a lot of work to do there. That glute and hamstring are not ready for open. And from the front and the side, the improvement is very noticeable. I think he's done really well and has grown a lot without practically losing any conditioning. But now let's get hypothetical here, okay? Photoshop. How would Wesley look with a few more kilos? And not just with a few more kilos. If he put those kilos in the places where he needs them, just like he did. We've already seen that he's able to make his legs grow without his arms growing much. Okay, perfect. Let's add a bit more to his hamstrings, a bit more to his glutes. I've even wanted to give him another bodybuilder's physique. Let's see if you know who it is. On the left we have Wesley in open with a few more kilos. And on the right, Wesley again, but with improved genetics. In both, he looks spectacular, but I'm not fully convinced by his glutes, hamstrings, or his back insertions. That said, from the front I think he would be extraordinary. He would be a really tough open bodybuilder. Look at this transformation with, I don't know, 10 or 15 more kilos. He would have some of the best arms and the greatest width in open. If he were able to maintain that definition, it would be incredible. For the side chest, I wanted to do something interesting, which is to add more kilos to him. On the left, he shows his usual conditioning, while on the right, it's the conditioning current open competitors usually bring, which is lacking. It's a subtle difference, but well, which one do you think would be closer to reality? Either way, both poses are impressive. They could be very strong for him. And finally, let's look at the most muscular pose, which for me is one of Wesley's best poses, and that's even though it's not a classic pose. I think Wesley's most muscular is monstrous because of his shoulders and chest, which are so defined and so big. His arms are really big and his legs have grown a lot now and look really good in this pose. Also, tremendous traps. He looks a bit allowing for the differences, like Coleman's legendary most muscular pose. I think Wesley in open could be like an Arnold Schwarzenegger, but modern, updated, improved. Or he could be like Dennis Wolf, a pretty tall and aesthetic bodybuilder who competed several years ago. In fact, I have a video of him that you can watch after this one. For me, Wesley could be something similar. Currently, I think he's still not ready. He needs to keep improving those glutes, those hamstrings to stay at least 1 more year, maybe even 2 in classic, until he gets the most out of himself, and when there's nothing more to do, then make the jump to open. I even think that even then, he would need to take another year, maybe 2, training and improving, to be able to be competitive in the category. He's tall and has a lot to fill out, but Classic doesn't let him add more size because he can't go over the weight limit. I think he's not ready yet, but he's close. We're going to see him in Pittsburgh soon, posing alongside open bodybuilders and other Classic Olympia competitors. Great years are ahead for open bodybuilding. When Wesley, Dino, Josema, all of them switch over, they're going to make the category great again. Stay tuned because on Sunday there's a video coming that you'll like. I'm going to bring you a legendary bodybuilder, one of the most surprising I've ever brought to the channel, honestly. Don't miss yesterday's video. This is Ares YT Culturismo signing off. See you next time. Bye.